I'm sorry, but if you're a man and you don't know how to fight, you're a fucking liability. There's no other way to say it. I can't trust you, and you can't be relied on, so you are a liability, and you need to stay the fuck out of the way. Now, this doesn't mean you're a bad person. That doesn't mean I have anything against you. That doesn't mean you don't have anything to bring to the table. But as men, we are meant to protect, provide, and guide / serve. These are things that I truly wholeheartedly believe in. They have been ingrained in us since we were fucking cavemen. That's what we were supposed to do. But nowadays, society and the world wants you to be passive and fucking weak and dormant, and it's bullshit. It's a bunch of weak individuals that are too scared to stand on their own and do what they need to do, so they try to alter what it means to be a man. But don't get it twisted. Knowing how to fight is a necessity. It should be ingrained in every man, regardless of how old they are. And that is why I'm going to teach my son, when he is old enough, how to fight, protect, provide, and guide / serve. Do you know how many situations myself and my wife have been in, and there was a very sketchy thing that popped off, where next thing you know, we're walking through this one alley about to go explore some shops in downtown Barcelona, and 5 guys walk out of one corner, and the next thing you know, they're kind of just in our way. They're all looking at us, and it creates this weird aura. Or we're walking down the street on one side of Italy in fucking Rome, and some guy starts catcalling my wife, acting all up. You need to know how to fight in that situation, because believe it or not, guys, the world is a dangerous fucking place. And if you do not know how to defend yourself and your people, what are you? Remember at the beginning, you are a liability. You should know how to protect. It's a job. It's a necessity. It's not an if. I've been ingrained with this mentality since I was a fucking child. And don't get me wrong, I wasn't taught the best way. I was taught to know how to fight violently. Every one of my brothers was taught to know how to fight violently. And we fought each other when we were a kid, no matter how we felt and no matter the situation. And that's not what I'm endorsing here. Jordan Peterson talked about this. He said you should be a monster and then you should learn how to control it. And that's what I wholeheartedly believe in. The reason why I say protect, provide, and guide / serve is because I believe in being the powerful man that would stand between the bear and his family, but then come back inside, lay on the ground, and let his kid crawl all over him and beat him up. Julia and Cade can rely on me to be the vulnerable servant they need to give them everything that they fucking want in life, and also to be the fucking wall between danger and them. I'm not endorsing violence. I'm not saying that as a man you should enforce violence on other people around you and only use violence to deal with different situations, but you need to be capable of it. It should not be your instant trigger. You shouldn't instantly turn to violence all the fucking time. However, you should know how to fight. You should know how to protect. Not only for peace of mind when you're an adult, whether you're traveling the world or not, but when you're a kid. Do you know how many less fights I would have got into as a kid if I knew how to fight and I wasn't insecure in my surroundings? Kids are ruthless. Not only are they violent, but they are mean. And the kid who doesn't know how to protect himself usually gets beat up the worst. Usually gets attacked the worst. Usually gets picked on the worst. Even just growing up as a teenager. As a young adult, I'd be walking through the bars and me being on the short side would try to maneuver around people. People wouldn't see me, I'd bump into them. They'd get angry with me, and because I didn't really know how to fight, I'd get more angry with them because I felt like I needed to prove myself. It wasn't until I was around 23, 24 years old when I really started to take boxing seriously, and I realized the mental changes that happen when you actually understand how to fucking fight. Not just protect, not scrap, but actually fucking fight. It would have been a drastically different childhood and young adult life if I knew how to defend myself properly. Confidence in the fact that you could stand between danger and your family, confidence in the fact that you could stand in front of any person and defend yourself. You don't want to fight anymore. You're more calm and collected in those situations. You feel like you don't need to prove yourself in order to make a point. Everybody's got it twisted nowadays. They think that violence is a horrible thing. They feel like knowing how to protect yourself is a horrible thing when it's quite the opposite. It makes you a calm and more focused individual. I now box every day from 1 to 2 hours for 2 reasons. 1, I love the sport and I want to do big things with it. For some reason, it speaks to me and it allows me to express in a totally different way that I never understood when I was younger. 2, because it's my fucking job to. When my wife and I are in a weird country or even walking around our current city of Kelowna, which is in the top 10 most dangerous cities in Canada, we see some sketchy people, she looks towards me for protection. When I'm in my household and some random individual comes and bangs on the door, she looks towards me as protection. I am supposed to be that barrier. I am supposed to be that protector. Now you can think about gender roles and that role all you fucking want. It is my job. But let's even remove me for a second. My wife knows how to defend herself. My kid will have to know how to defend himself. Why? Because it is a necessity. It's something that you should embody, because knowing how to protect yourself is the most freeing feeling in the entire fucking world. Don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't focus on it, because it will transform your mental and physical state like nothing else.